We used darkness within most of the shots to give it like low-key lighting, giving it more of an eerie kind of horror type feel, which actually built up more tension within each scene. We also used eerie music throughout the entirety of the filming and editing process, just so the viewer would constantly feel like something was going to happen, even though there might not have been something happening anyway. We had a young girl as a main actor to show that the younger generations are quite naive within social networking and don't really care much about their own protection. There was no cross-cultural variation, and the girl was working class, which shows it can happen to any normal person. It doesn't really matter what kind of person you are, as if it can happen to most normal people. In the opening sequence, we gave a uncomfortable feel because of the twitchy words and music we had. It kind of gave an automatic feel of tension that was going to be from the start and throughout of the film, showing the audience that it was obviously a horror film. We learned that various shots need to be filmed over and over again to be able to get a perfect shot, and that not every time you get one it's going to be right first time, and if it comes to it you may even have to go back to the place you did it and do it again on a different day. We also learned that editing can sometimes be inspired from other films. For example, we used inspiration from the film Seven for our opening sequences with our words, making it look more professional.
Probably Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema or Universal are the most likely candidates to distribute our media product, because they themselves have already produced horror films such as Final Destination, Jaws and The Conjuring. Those kind of films are already kind of linked with our movie by the age, gender, ethnicity and plot used. The only difference is the use of internet in our film, which could make a good twist compared to the existing media products, which are all focused on historical events or something to do with the building. Who would be the audience? Well, their age would be about teenagers and young adults. No younger because it's not suitable due to scary scenes, and no older because they're not really interested in horror films. We have also certificated it. Yeah, it's a 12A because we think that's how it's suitable. It also gives us a good range of an audience. It appeals to both genders. It is not too feminine or not too masculine. There's not too much action, which sometimes women can find overwhelming, and there's not too much, I don't think there's any lovey-dovey stuff that men don't like. There's no class aim, really. Just as long as you can afford a ticket, it just means you can buy it and watch it. But it might be, people might find it more appealing if they're working class because of the setting used and the language we use and the events that have happened, so rich people might not really have a stalker. Ethnicity, there is no specific ethnicity, as there's like no offensive language towards a different ethnicity, but other cultures may find events or take events more seriously, or they may not experience them at all.
Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product? From the preliminary task, we have learnt to work as a group by listening to each other's ideas and working together to create a final outcome. We took turns in using the camera, so we got used to the settings and how to use it. Because we all had different opinions on what the finished preliminary task should look like, we experimented with all different camera angles and shots so we could choose what looked best when editing. When it came to filming our major production, we'd had